welcome to Jazz Moments with my guest tonight, Jonathan Fuhrer. Welcome, Jonathan.
Hello, nice to be here.
Great to have you on keyboard. And Ian, help me out with your last name, Kenselar?
Yes.
All right, I'm so excited I got that. On the bass. Welcome to you as well.
Thank you.
You can have a seat if you'd like.
All right.
So that was just, what were you guys just playing us in with?
That was the Days of Wine and Roses by Henry Mancini.
Days of Wine and Roses. And it seems like you guys are having a few days with wine and roses, sans the wine because you're both underage, with a pretty successful career so far as a jazz musician, would you say?
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess so. A little early to tell, but it's definitely a lot of fun, and it's very exciting.
Jonathan, what would you classify yourself as? A jazz musician? What else?
Well, I wouldn't classify myself as, just one thing. I mean, jazz is what I'm really passionate about right now, but I'm passionate about a lot of different kinds of music.
Like?
Like classical music, pop music, rock and roll. As I said, one of my influences was Billy Joel. I also like Ray Charles. And I think it's also part of the spirit of jazz that you take, all these things you like, and it kind of that becomes a part of your music. So I wouldn't just classify myself as a jazz musician, but just a musician in general who likes a lot of different kinds of music.
And you guys are both kind of young. How old are you now, Jonathan?
I'm 17.
And how long have you been playing?
I've been playing piano for 12 years now, and I started getting into jazz 3 years ago.
And do you play any other instruments?
I do play alto saxophone and
drums. Okay. And Ian, what do you play?
Well, my main instrument is upright bass, and I also play electric bass. Okay. And I mess around on ukulele and guitar.
Okay, ukulele. That's something you can stick in your pocket and take wherever you want, unlike this big behemoth, your bass right next to you. How old are you, Ian?
I'm 19.
And how long have you been playing?
I've been playing for about 9 years.
Okay. So let's put a little bit of this 9 years and 12 years of experience together again, shall we? Can you play us another song?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We'll play Sister Sadie by Horace Silver.
And this song that you're going to play, this is a jazz genre song as well?
Absolutely. Horace Silver was a really wonderful, actually is a wonderful pianist and hard bop composer who led a really great band and was one of the co-founders of the Jazz Messengers, a famous band with Art Blakey. And this is one of his compositions.
What's hard bop?
Hard bop is a music that developed after bebop, and it kind of brought back some of the harder groove that was classified in the swing era.
Okay, so here with a hard bop swing type song, Sister Sadie by Horace Silver. Go ahead, guys. lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm watching your fingers, Jonathan, on the keyboard, and it seems as if they're going every which way, and I never know where they're going next. Is that how you would define jazz?
Well, no, I mean, a big part, I think, of the spirit of jazz is the story that is being told by whoever's playing, and, you know, at the end of whatever phrase that he just played, you know, you're left to think, oh my God, you know, what's going to happen next? And also throughout the phrase, you're thinking, wow, you know, like there's interesting turns being made throughout. But you know, it's really, when it comes down to it, it's all about having fun and grooving and, you know, and swinging, because it's supposed to dance, and that's the whole point of the music. So, you know, if my hand goes there, my hand goes there. You know, it's all, what I'm trying to do is add to whatever the groove at the moment is.
So it's kind of a soap opera played out on the keyboard.
Yeah,
Your twists and turns.
Yeah, I mean, Sister Sadie would be, I guess, a non-typical soap opera.
More like Real Housewives instead of General Hospital?
Actually, probably closer to General Hospital. Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. Are your parents, your dad or your mom, or both, are they musical influences on you?
Yeah, I mean, neither one of them are instrumentalists. I mean, my dad plays a little guitar, my mom plays some piano, and they, you know, they're music fans, which was a big part for me in as far as, you know, getting into music.
You said your dad introduced you to Billy Joel.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And my mom was actually one of the first ones to teach me piano.
Really?
Yeah, she sat me down, and we had this piano because my family's from the Philippines, and my first piano that I had was from my grandma, who's from the Philippines, and she taught me how to play on there. You know, just basic things like or different things. There's this book by like John Thompson that I think a lot of piano students end up using, and she showed me some things in there. So, so she was the first one to sit me down at the piano. My dad showed me this thing called the boogie. So I had that kind of sound in my head from a young age.
If you could play something that kind of tells us who you are, what would it be?
Probably be about that, yeah.
Kind of a great finale or a great beginning?
Yeah, I don't know. I just try to have some fun. I think I have some sense of humor. I think some would disagree, though.
I think you do. What's on your iPod, guys?
Well, for me, some of the people I love to listen to, Oscar Peterson, Miles Davis's bands with the first grade quintet when you had Red Garland, Philly Joe, and Paul Chambers and John Coltrane, and then with Wynton Kelly when you had Hank Mobley and Jimmy Cobb. So Wynton Kelly and Red Garland also big influences of mine. I love Hank Jones. Also singers. I love Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald. I really like Ray Charles. Obviously Billy Joel, I mentioned, was an early influence. Elton John, the Beatles.
Little Beatles.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of stuff. Also some Eric Clapton.
Okay.
Kind of got into there too. So a lot of stuff.
Ian, what would I not expect to find on your iPod that's on there?
Well, I love listening to Wayne Shorter, but I guess he's more typical.
Wayne Shorter is a jazz musician?
Yeah, he's a jazz tenor saxophone player. I also love listening to James Brown and Curtis Mayfield, Bill Evans. He's a jazz piano player. I also like hip hop a lot.
Really?
So Biggie Smalls.
A little Biggie Smalls in there in between Ella Fitzgerald and.
Sure.
Love it. Anything on your iPod I wouldn't expect to find that's on there?
Anything you wouldn't expect to find?
Biggie Smalls? I don't.
Probably, what's the weirdest thing I have on there? Probably actually some like symphonic music. That would be pretty weird that I'd have on there. And also like string quartets, like Haydn and stuff. So.
How about Thelonious Monk?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love Thelonious Monk. Monk's. I love Monk's music. I play it a lot. And there's kind of like a special. At least in my opinion, I think there's a special club of people that love Monk tunes and learn a lot of Monk tunes.
And who are those people who like Monk?
Well, just like different jazz musicians that if they're at a jam, they'll be the ones to call. Actually, kind of a story with that is I was at a camp over the summer called Eastern Jazz Camp, and my combo director, Clay Jenkins, he has like this thick Texas drawl, and I always say, man, I love monk tunes, so now I love monk tunes too. So so I guess we'll play you.
Yeah, give me a little monk. Which one are you going to play?
We're going to play a Monk's Dream, which is actually a title track of the album, Monk's Dream.
Okay, go ahead. Gentlemen, Monk's Dream.
Okay. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3.
Thank you. That was lovely. Again, you excite me and surprise me. So this is Monk's Dream, the song that you just played. What's your interpretation of what Monk's Dream is? I'm just watching your hands go from side to side on the keyboard. What's he saying to you?
Well, Thelonious Monk, if you ever watch him as a player, he had a really interesting approach to the piano. And actually, at the time, I think it was kind of misunderstood by a lot of people.
At the
They
time,
called him,
about what was his era?
I'd say 1940s, 1950s.
Yeah.
And they actually called him the elephant of the piano, which I think is very, very harsh. But he has a very spontaneous, percussive style, which I feel like is actually influencing more piano players now who are kind of looking at that. McCoy Tyner was John Coltrane's piano player, was influenced by that. But as far as Monk's Dream, I mean, he was known to have had kind of a very eccentric personality, and that kind of quirkiness comes out in all of his tunes.
Yeah.
So that's what I was trying to think in that vein of, you know, put me into a different mindset, kind of like enter Monk's mind in the way I'm playing the song. So, I mean, that's the way I look at it, at least.
Entering Monk's world.
Yeah, and he makes it so easy because his tunes, in addition to being so harmonically and melodically just memorable, you know, you can sing back a Monk tune like any other song. They have a personality to them, which is really easy to grasp onto, and it's kind of, which is why I think a lot of people like to play Monk tunes.
And why they gravitate toward him.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So, Jonathan, you're 17 in high school.
Yep.
Shout out your high school.
Cranford High School. I'm from Cranford, New Jersey.
Woohoo, Cranford in the house. And go Spartans. I don't know, what are they?
Cougars.
I'm sorry?
Cougars.
Oh, go Cougars. And Ian, where do you go to school?
I go to Rutgers University.
And what are you studying?
Jazz.
Okay.
Studying jazz.
And when you graduate, what do you want to do?
Well, I want to make a go of, you know, having a professional music career and being able to live off of that. And
I'm sure your parents would like that too.
yes. Yeah.
And what's next for you after high school, Jonathan?
Well, I was just accepted to Columbia University.
Ooh, congratulations.
Which is where I'll be going, and I'll be studying jazz studies there. I'll be receiving my Bachelor of Arts with a special concentration in jazz studies. They have a Louis Armstrong Performance Center.
Right.
Actually, I just found out Louis Armstrong lived in Queens.
Yes, he did. That's right. There's a Louis Armstrong house you can visit.
Yeah.
Right?
So they have a Louis Armstrong Performance Center there, which is kind of their rough equivalent of a performance program that a conservatory would offer. I'm also going to be studying things academically there. I don't have to declare a major until after my first year, so I have some options. But I mean, after that, I would really, you know, same thing as Ian. I think that's the dream. You know, do this and make music.
Make music and make money.
Yeah.
Again, your parents would be thrilled. So have you put out an album already?
Yeah. I mean, when I was 13 or 14, I forget exactly, I put out an album. This was an EP called A Little Taste.
A Little Taste.
And I mean, that's basically what it was. It was 3 tunes, 2 originals. I sang on that one. And,
do you sing as well?
I haven't been singing that much recently. I figure I'll get back into it eventually. Also play a little saxophone on that. And then one of the tunes was a standard blue bossa.
So 2 originals and 1 standard.
And it's interesting listening back and just hearing, you know, how my conception of the whole thing has changed, and you know what I want from my music is changed. But that was a very good experience, and you know, opened me up to you know, what recording would be like. That's obviously a big part of the career, and what writing would be like.
And that's amazing. You did that when you were 14. That's huge.
Oh, thank you.
You know, you've got one out of the way, so the next one will even be better.
Oh, that's the hope.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you going to play for us next?
We're going to play you an old standard, There Will Never Be Another You.
Oh, people say that to me all the time, but you can play it. It's okay. There Will Never Be Another You. Who's that by?
It's by Harry Warren.
Okay, go ahead, gentlemen.
I'll give 4 up front.
where can we find more information about you guys? Jonathan?
Oh, well, you can go to my website, jonathanfurer.com.
And spell that for us.
JONATHONFURER.com.
And Ian?
My website is still, in the works.
Can
but
we
you
find you on?
contact John.
Can
or
we find you on Facebook?
You can definitely find me on Facebook.
Okay, and spell your last name for us.
KENSELAAR.
Okay, so find Ian on Facebook. Thanks so much, gentlemen, for joining me this evening on Jazz Moments. I'm Gail Lewis. Thanks for joining us on Jazz Moments with Jonathan Furer. For more information, you can always email me, newday2010@yahoo.com. Gentlemen, play us out.